going on, Vikings fans? You are watching Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, Fox Sports dropped an article listing their top 100 free agents for 2026, and they had the Vikings landing an absolute stud. So we'll dive into that prediction coming up here in just a second, but I need your guys' help on today's show. We're trying to break a comment record here at Chat Sports. Whichever video can get the most comments on a show this week, we'll get a shout out in our company meeting. So if you guys could, let's try to break it. Fill it up with skulls down below in the comment section. I want my bosses to see when they click on this video, just thousands of skulls rolling in. So if you guys could help me out, make it look like US Bank Stadium on game day, and drop those skulls down below. All right, Fox Sports had the Vikings signing Jaylen Watson, the cornerback for the Kansas City Chiefs this offseason. I think this would be a home run move. I've been talking about Watson a lot this offseason, and he's just an elite tackler, great instincts, also is a great postseason player as well, a lot of experience, so I'd be a fan of the pickup. This is what Greg Auman of Fox Sports had to say, saying Watson, 27 years old, is a former 7th-round pick who thrived in his first 5 years as a full-time starter, or first year as a full-time starter in 2025. He had 2 interceptions after just 1 in his first 3 seasons and finished with 64 tackles. Pro Football Focus has him as their number 13 corner, one spot behind teammate Trent McDuffie, who's due to make $13 million on his 5th-year option. Could Watson draw a similar salary on a multi-year deal? Kansas City is way over the salary cap, so it's an opportunity to grab a young defender with significant postseason experience with 2 picks in 10 career playoff games. And Jaylen Watson's fantastic. I mean, this guy, for being a 7th-round pick, man, oh man, what a pickup by the Kansas City Chiefs. But this past season, 15 games played, only allowed a completion percentage of 58.6, 430 yards allowed, no touchdowns allowed, and had 2 picks and 6 PBUs, and a quarterback rating allowed of 67.5. Over the last 4 seasons for Watson, was banged up during the 2024 year. But, I mean, even in his rookie year as a true 7th-round pick, this guy was awesome. 49 tackles, 3 TFLs, 6 PBUs, 1 touchdown as well. Like, this guy's a playmaker, man. He's a great tackler. He's also kind of, like, you see the dog with him when he's out there on the football field. I think that's just because he was a 7th-round pick. He always feels like he's got to prove himself over and over again. So I don't think a big contract would, lose that nature that he naturally has in his DNA. And the Vikings, or why does Fox Sports have him going to the Vikings? Well, because they need another cornerback. Byron Murphy Jr. definitely took a step back in 2025 compared to who he was in 2024. Isaiah Rodgers, besides that one game against the Cincinnati Bengals, I thought he was pretty below average. And Jeff Okudah and Fabian Moreau, the other 2 CBs on the roster to close out the year, well, they're free agents. And I don't really expect the Vikings to bring them back. So they just need to add bodies to this cornerback room. And what a better body than a guy like Jaylen Watson. And I do believe this. Like, the Vikings in their cornerback room, I think they're just one guy away from being really, really dynamic. Like, if you had Byron Murphy, who, Byron Murphy's a fine tackler, but he's not great by any means. He doesn't really add any physicality to the secondary. Or if they added a physical, press man, get up in your face style of corner like Jaylen Watson, that would be huge. And I think they're just one pickup like that away from potentially having one of the better cornerback rooms in the NFC. Now, what would he go for? Spotrac has him coming in at 3 years, $48 million, $16 million a year. I mean, that's a little much for a guy like Jaylen Watson. Maybe you could get him around 12 to 13 million. I think would be ideal. Like a 3 for 36 would be sweet. But again, with these contracts, it all comes down to the guaranteed money. Like, if this is 3 for 48 with like $28 million guaranteed, necessarily just a 2 for 14 there. But if this is the deal, I would be a fan of it. A little much, but I just think the Vikings are in a spot. Like, why not get after it? Go for getting a true physical lockdown corner on the perimeter. But you guys let me know. Would you sign Watson to this deal? 3 years, $48 million. Give me an S for sign or give me a P for pass down below in the comment section. You guys let me know your thoughts on Jaylen Watson below. All right, I do want to go over 5 bargain Vikings free agent targets. We talked about a lot of the big names here on the channel, but let's go over some guys that they could get for possibly like 1 year, $5 million deals. We'll discuss that here in a second, but before we do so, I want to tell you guys about today's sponsor. That is Harry's, a shaving company, and I got their brand new razor right here. It's awesome, and for a limited time, our listeners here at Vikings Now can get the Harry's Plus trial set for only $10 at harrys.com/chat. Now, I have used old razors in the past, and they just went way too dull, way too fast. And they also irritated my neck, and they also cost way too much. Sometimes it was $30 for 8 refills. It was a total scam. But that's not the case at Harry's. And Harry's Plus is Harry's heaviest razor handle ever. It's made from metal, never plastic, designed to fit comfortably in your hand. Heavier handle means more control and a luxe feel when shaving your face. And Harry's doesn't just make razors. They've got a full line of grooming essentials, from shave gel to deodorant to body wash, all thoughtfully made and priced to stock up. All of Harry's blades and grooming products can be delivered right to your door. So set your preferred schedule and never run out of blades again. So hit that link in the comment section and description of today's show. And for a limited time, our listeners can get the Harry's Plus trial set for only $10 at harrys.com/chat. The set includes the all-new Harry's Plus razor, one refined 5-blade cartridge, a 2-ounce foaming shave gel, and a travel cover to protect your blades on the go. Just head to harrys.com/chat to claim this offer. And after you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. All right, let's talk about 5 Vikings bargain free agent targets here. Starting off with number 1, Reed Blankenship. Key piece of the Eagles' defense over the last couple of years. Versatile safety. Really, really solid. Didn't have the best year this past year. Allowed 3 touchdowns. High completion percentage. But this guy, the versatility, would fit in perfectly with Flores' scheme. And he's also a player I think who would fit right into what the Vikings are looking for. And I think that's experience and specifically playoff experience. Very willing tackler. Can hop down in the box, and I think he would probably go for 1 year, $7-8 million per season. Maybe he wants to get a twofer. Maybe the Vikings could give him that, but I think you could get this guy. It's just like insurance. If you can't get a safety in the first and second round of the NFL draft, just shine Reed Blankenship in free agency. Shouldn't cost you that much. And same could be said about Quincy Williams here. Now, Quincy Williams was awesome with the New York Jets up until this past season. Physical linebacker, brothers with Quinnen Williams. But this past season, it was no doubt pretty rough for Quincy Williams. You guys can see the stats on screen when he was in coverage. I mean, allowing 46 of 56 passes thrown his way for 538 yards, 5 touchdowns, and a quarterback rating of 136.5. So he didn't have his best stuff this past season, but maybe a change of scenery. The Vikings can lock something new with him. And he is a tackling machine. I mean, that 2023 season he had is just absolutely ridiculous. 140 tackles, 15 TFLs, 2 sacks, 10 PBUs, and a pick. That is absolutely unbelievable production. So I would like his fit next to Blake Cashman, since Cashman's a great coverage linebacker. He can kind of just be like a bolstered up like Eric Wilson and Ivan Pace for this defense. I mean, if Eric Wilson had the season he had for the Vikes, I couldn't imagine what Quincy would do. So he's another guy I'm keeping my eyes out on. Then also Chig Okonkwo of the Tennessee Titans, a tight end. This guy is just consistent. And if the Vikings do end up cutting TJ Hawkinson, and maybe they don't want to go out there and spend a first-round pick on Kenyon Steek or like give Kyle Pitts big money, and they just want to go for a bargain guy, like Chig is just that. Playing in all 17 games each of the last 4 seasons, which is very impressive, but it's crazy. His stats look the exact same over the last 4 years here. Just pretty much the exact same, going for around 500 yards. I think the combination of him and Josh Oliver obviously wouldn't be fantastic, but it would be pretty solid at the tight end room where they would still have a top 20-ish unit in the NFL. Also, Josh Oliver and Chig would be both good run blockers as well. Now, a cornerback here who had a pretty rough end of the season with Jacksonville, Greg Newsome II. Now, I was always huge on Greg Newsome when he was coming out of Northwestern, a very intelligent corner. Pat Fitzgerald, former Northwestern head coach, actually now at Michigan State, was always raving about this guy. But he did get targeted a whole bunch in Jacksonville. Did not have his best stuff in the second half of the season. Gave up a bunch of yards, gave up a bunch of touchdowns as well. Still had 6 PBUs and 1 interception, and he's more of a slot cornerback. And the Vikings could definitely need that. So again, this would be like a 1-year, $3-4 million deal. So watch out for Greg Newsome. And how about DJ Reader of the Detroit Lions? I don't know what it is. I thought Reader was having a fantastic year this past season. Turns out he, was just all right for Detroit. Maybe it's just because he kills the Vikings every single time he plays them. But he's just a solid defensive lineman. Like, he's not going to be a blue chipper. He's not going to be that guy like Quinnen Williams, Dexter Lawrence. We can just wreck a game, but he is just solid. And he's been fairly healthy. I'd like his fit next to Jalen Redmond. Get more beef on that defensive line. He also knows the division pretty well. So I would have some interest in DJ Reader potentially being a bargain pickup for the Minnesota Vikings. has always been, fairly healthy. So I like that as well. But you guys let me know. Pick one to sign out of all 5 of these guys. You going with Reed, Quincy, Chig, Greg, or DJ? Give me an RB, QW, CO, GN, or a DR down below. If you had to pick one of these guys, let me know who you would sign. We'll get on out of here. As always, Skull Vikes.